So it's part 2 of answering your questions, and today it is going to be about recovery questions. So I've thought about doing like a video about my recovery from my eating disorders, so that might come sometime, I don't really know. I haven't planned it or anything, but basically I have suffered with anorexia for several years. When I was younger, I've now been recovered like 6 years or something like that. Mentally recovered like 5 years. Also suffered from depression, anxiety, binge eating, bulimia. The binge eating was part of that. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that so much now, but I'm going to answer your questions from my Instagram. Okay, first one. What does fully recovered mean to you? This is a really good question, because weight gain and like, you know, physical recovery is not the same as mental recovery. And you know, you can be what I call a functional sufferer, which means that, you know, you may be able to go to school and work and, you know, eat somewhat normally, but you still struggle with different things. You may have some like habits or behaviors or thoughts which keep you, you know, which make you, you know, still sick. You're not fully free. So for me, full recovery means 1, being honest to yourself about, you know, your thoughts, your habits, your behaviors, because because eating disorders are secretive and they're mental illnesses. People from the outside can't always see. They don't always know how you're thinking or your intentions behind what you do. So it is important to be honest to yourself about your intentions. You know, am I going out for a walk because, you know, I'm anxious about what I just ate? Or am I going for a walk because I enjoy going for walks and it's therapeutic? Or, you know, am I choosing a salad now because it's the least calories? Or is it because I actually want the salad? So just being honest to yourself. Full recovery takes time, and there are many who say, you know, that you can never be fully recovered, but I don't believe that. I do, however, believe that it does take time, and that, you know, sometimes thoughts might pop into your head, such as if you're very stressed or if you're going through tough times and that, they might like pop in a little thought in your head, like, you know, oh, I shouldn't eat this much, or if you're having a very bad body image day and that. But being recovered means that, you know, you can think more rationally and be like, oh, okay, now this is a negative eating disorder thought and I'm going to go against it. I'm not going to let it impact me. And then over time, like, they become less. When you're very sick, they're constantly there and you always kind of listen to them. But part of recovery is going against those thoughts and doing the opposite. And it just means that you can like live the life you want, that you aren't, because when you're half recovered or a functional sufferer, you can kind of live life, but you know that you are missing out on things. Like, you know, you might not eat the food you want to eat, you aren't spontaneous, you might not allow others to cook food for you. Maybe you miss out on events because you're scared of, you know, food you're going to eat, or you never sleep in because then you miss a workout, or so you still kind of like, you don't live the life you want to live. And that I can say that when I was half recovered and I thought, you know, oh, I'm recovered, but mentally I wasn't. There were still things that, you know, there were still things that made me sick. I remember I could never sleep in, I never missed a workout, didn't matter if I was sick or, you know, tired or unmotivated. I didn't always eat the food I wanted to eat, and like there were still kind of rules, like, and all of that. So being fully recovered meant letting go of all of those rules. And yeah, moving on. Okay, do you consider yourself 100% with your eating disorder, or do you still have difficulties with food? So this kind of goes together with the previous question. Yes, I feel 100% free and rid of my eating disorder. Of course, there can be days where, you know, if I struggle with anxiety or I'm very stressed or I have very bad body image days, then, you know, these negative thoughts can pop into my head. But it's not like strong ones, and it's not ones I listen to, and I wouldn't say it's an eating disorder, but it's like these negative thoughts. Do I have difficulties with food? No, I don't actually. I mean, I eat what's served. I can, as long as it's vegan then. I don't think about calories or compensating or anything like that. I can eat, you know, go out and eat spontaneously. So yeah. Moving on. Okay, this question is Swedish, so I have to translate. Which treatment did I think helped me the most become healthy? And I would say it was Mando Treatment Center for Eating Disorders here in Sweden. Because I've been a patient in a psychiatric children's unit. I've gone to a therapist. I've had tube feeding. Yeah, I've gone to like children's kind of like therapy counselling here in Sweden. Then I've been a day patient and inpatient and that, but I think what helped me the most was inpatient treatment. It sucked, it was awful. I hated every moment of it. I have a lot of bad experiences and just like bad memories from there, but it was what helped me. Like, I needed someone to sit there with me and make me eat. I needed a meal plan. I needed people to watch over me so I didn't exercise or I didn't puke up the food I ate, or, you know. Like, without treatment, I don't think I would have recovered. Because it takes so much to be your own guard. I'm sure you can recover without treatment, but then you have to be your own kind of like guard. You have to be the one forcing yourself to eat. You have to be the one who makes sure that you don't compensate. And it's just tougher. But when you're in a situation where you have to eat and, you know, you can't compensate. But of course, I mean, the treatment, being an inpatient doesn't mean you recover. I spent like a year and a half just going from inpatient to day patient and back in again, because when I was an inpatient, I was forced to eat, I was forced to rest, I was forced to gain weight. But then once I became a day patient, you know, I stopped eating at home or didn't eat the amount I should. I began exercising, and like my mom, she really tried her best to, you know, make me rest and make me eat and all that, but it's so tough. I mean, I'm not going to talk about what I did or how I did it, because that would just give ideas and trigger others, and it's not even necessary. But I mean, when someone is so sick, you can't make someone recover. The motivation has to come from the inside. So I mean, you could sit in a treatment center for like a year, you know, gain all the weight you need and eat according to your meal plan, but if you don't want to recover, the second you get a chance to cheat or, you know, do something wrong, you will. And that was kind of what was my case, that, you know, the second someone wasn't watching me, I would just do the opposite of, you know, what I should have been doing. So I mean, recovery comes from the inside. You have to want to recover. But I don't think I ever would have found that motivation if I wasn't in recovery. Because if I was out, you know, in regular life, or, you know, daily life, and living at home, and if I had been allowed to do that, you know, go to school and not eat and exercising and that, I would have never found the reason to recover or want to get better, because I would have thought, you know, I'm living life, you know, I'm out here doing my thing, why do I need to eat more, or why am I allowed to exercise, or why do I need to gain weight if I'm out here living life? Not really living. You're basically just surviving. That's all you're doing. But when I was in treatment and basically told that, you know, you're not getting out of here until you actually begin to recover. Then it was like this motivation to get out of there. I also got a question about, what made me recover, so I'm just going to answer that now as well. I remember it was like 2011 or something, and I had attempted suicide. I was a day patient, and I was admitted back to inpatient again, and basically Mando then told me that, you're too sick for us to help you. I'd been an inpatient there for about a year, or like a patient there for a year, and after my suicide attempt, they basically thought that, we can't help you here. You need to go to a psychiatric ward if you're suicidal. But I was put back into inpatient, and I was just there kind of waiting to be moved to a psychiatric unit or some other treatment centre, because Mando was like, we can't help you here. But I wasn't allowed to be at home because I was such a risk for myself. And it was like such a long process trying to get me to another treatment centre and another ward, and that, like, they weren't places or they didn't want to take me and things like that. So I was basically stuck in Mando, and I was not allowed any permission out because I was such a risk. And sometime at that point, I think my sister came to visit me, or I heard about, like, my sister was kind of the one who inspired me, because I saw her living her life. She was with her friends and she had like a boyfriend, and she just like seemed happy and was living her life, and I just thought, I want that. Why am I sitting in hospital being skinny, hating myself, hating life, when I could be out there living life? Sure, I would gain weight, but I wanted to live life, that it was like some type of little motivation inside of me that was like, I want to live life, I have goals, I have dreams, and what am I doing? So it was like this little motivation that sparked inside of me. I mean, I had no choice, I was in hospital, I was stuck there basically. So first off, I remember I made this plan thinking that, okay, my first permission out, I am going to like kill myself in some way. That was my first thought, because I was kind of like, I can't do this, I can't do this anymore. And then like I wasn't allowed out, and sometime I just found this motivation and I wanted to get better. One of the people at Mando, she was amazing, she was so kind. She doesn't work there anymore. Like, she stopped working there kind of at the same time that I was beginning to, kind of transition out of Mando. But she basically told me that, you know how to lose weight, you know how to be sick, you know how to not eat. So why don't you just give recovery and weight gain a go? Like, see how it feels. And if you don't like it, you can always lose the weight again, because you know how to do that. And that kind of stuck with me, because I began thinking, if I don't like the weight gain, if I don't like my life, whatever, I can just lose the weight again, so yeah, that kind of stuck with me. Of course, the recovery motivation didn't always last. I did relapse again, like a few months later. Like, my timeline is a little fuzzy here, but I was finally like a day patient again sometime summer, autumn 2011, and I began going to school again. And then sometime at the start of 2012, I began to relapse. And then like spring 2012, I was told that, if you don't regain the weight again, you're going to be admitted to inpatient again. And I really didn't want that, so I focused on, recover again and regaining the weight. And then August 2012, I was declared healthy, and I was doing better in that, but I was mostly physically recovered, and I still had some things I had to work on mentally to be fully free. Okay, so I don't really know. That was like two questions in one. basically Mando helped me the most, but recovery comes from the inside. Okay, what's my opinion on light exercise during recovery for non-weight loss reasons? Like, exercise is healthy, it can make you feel good, you know, mentally, physically. If you're still all the time, you can feel very stiff and, you know, all of that. So it all depends what stage you are in recovery. If you do have an exercise addiction and you are at a very low weight, then I would say no. Like, maybe you can do some stretches, maybe some light yoga, which is very, you know, kind of like not so high intensity. That you may enjoy that, and you can do that. But I would wait until you are at a close to a normal weight or BMI to begin with, you know, more strenuous exercise. So maybe when you're like close to a healthy weight, you can begin going for walks again, and then over time, when you are a healthier weight, and when you get, if you're a female then, if you get your menstruation back, then maybe you can begin increasing your exercise a bit more, because exercise stresses your body, and if you are a low weight, then it can take longer for your menstruation to come back, but also to, you know, not be at the lowest healthy weight. Like BMI 18 or 18.5, it's better to have a little higher BMI to get your menstruation back, and then begin exercising a little more, and to just be aware of your thoughts and be aware of why you are exercising. You know, just because you're allowed to exercise doesn't mean you have to. I can take from my experience that, you know, when I was allowed to exercise, then suddenly it was like, oh, now I have to exercise all the time because I'm allowed. Whereas, you know, just like find the form you enjoy, do it, you know, a few times a week, make sure you're enjoying it and doing it for the right reasons. But yeah, begin light, you know, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and then if you enjoy it, increase. Yeah, because exercise is part of a healthy lifestyle, but you also have to enjoy it, and there are points in your life, such as if you're a very low weight, or if you do suffer from exercise addiction, then exercise isn't healthy. Did I have a meal plan in recovery? Yes, I did. Formed individually for me, based on what phase and weight I was in recovery. So when I first began Mando treatment, I got a meal plan. It was like 6 meals a day, but it really wasn't a lot of food. And that was because when you go from eating very little, you need to slowly increase so you don't start getting, you know, intestinal problems and stomach issues and that. So when I first began there, I was like, I cannot eat this amount, it is so much. But now when I look at it, I'm like, I mean, I could most probably eat that whole amount in like one meal. Everything I ate in like one day, I could fit that in one meal now. But over time it increased, and I think at the end I was eating about like 3,500 to gain weight, and that was 6 meals and 2 like fortified, what are they called? It was either 1 Scandi shake or like 2 of these, you know, 40 plus or Ensure, I think they're called. And we had to measure everything, like the yogurt, the juice, the milk, the oats, all of that. And we also had a Mando meter. I can link a post down below about like the Mando meter and all that. I mean, having a meal plan helped me in recovery. I needed a meal plan, but then it was also about the further you got into recovery, the more you were allowed to, you know, not measure, that you could just like pour the milk or pour the yogurt without measuring, and then over time you'd be allowed to choose like a free snack, that instead of having, you know, 1 or 2 of the options on your meal plan, you were allowed to choose what you wanted. But they were still very, you know, strict about it has to be the kind of right amount. But, you know, I couldn't go from eating a bowl of yogurt and 2 sandwiches to just eating a fruit. Then I could maybe choose, you know, a bowl of yogurt, some fruit, and maybe 3 crisp breads instead of like 2 whole breads or like bread. Okay, I'm gonna answer 2 more questions. I know this is gonna be so long. Okay, so how did I cope with weight gain, body image during recovery? This is so hard. because it was just kind of about accepting it, and it took a long time. It was a lot of, you know, mentally accepting how I looked. It takes time, but basically changing your mindset, you know. Part of me says that, you know, don't look in the mirror so much because that's not going to help you, but at the other part of me is like, look in the mirror and, you know, say to yourself, I like who I am, I look good, doesn't matter if I have stomach rolls or cellulite or whatever, that's just part of a human body. Yeah, that's just how I look. A lot of my body accepting my weight gain, and that was beginning to love my body for what it could do. Like, I could run again, I had energy, I could work out, my brain functioned again, suddenly I could remember things, I could focus, I could read, I could study. I was like appreciating my body for that and not how it looked. But then, like, working out does change your body, and even if I don't really promote working out to change your body image or your appearance, for me personally, like lifting weights and, you know, getting stronger arms, okay, they don't look so strong now, but whatever, like building more muscle up on my arms did help me to appreciate and love my body more, because I've always had very skinny arms and they weren't really proportionate, because I kind of have a larger lower body, like bigger legs than that. So by building muscles on my arms, it kind of helped me to like my body more, and I'm not ashamed to say that. But now I work out for health reasons, and, you know, because I enjoy it so much. So I don't think working out should be primarily to change your body, but it can help you boost your confidence, and that is okay. It's not a bad thing to change your body slightly, you know, by working out, but it shouldn't be your main aim, because if you're just working out to change your body, you're always going to find things you want to change and you're never actually going to be happy with how you look. So my advice, be kind to yourself, don't scrutinize yourself too much, like don't spend ages just looking in the mirror, but, you know, when you walk by the mirror or see yourself in the mirror, just say, you know, I look good, I feel good, I'm beautiful just the way I am, and just repeat that daily. Make sure you're feeling good, wear clothes that make you feel good, and taking care of your body, that helps a bit to learn to love your body, and it's a continuous journey of self-love and body acceptance. And also I want to advise that, you know, don't follow accounts that make you feel bad about yourself. Like, if you compare your body image with someone else and it makes you feel bad, unfollow them, because, you know, you can't change how someone else looks or what they post, but if you feel bad when you look at them, just get rid of them. You don't need that. Don't look in magazines or, you know, videos or that make you feel bad about yourself. Follow accounts that make you feel good about your body, that inspire you. Yeah. And then also I got a question about, you know, if I count calories, and if I did, how to, and if I don't, how did I stop? So this video is long enough, so I'm not gonna answer that here, but I will link a post or a few posts down below when I have answered this topic. Because no, I don't count calories anymore, and it is very, very befreeing. Anyway, so I will link that below, and I will link other recovery related posts in the description box. And I've now filmed for half an hour, and hopefully this video isn't half an hour, but thank you all so much for watching. I hope this helps anyone, and I will try to answer more of your questions, maybe in another video or down in the description box. So leave your comments or questions or suggestions or whatever down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe below, and thank you all so much for watching.